Dr. McLeod's devotional is on A Sovereign God.
Do not feel that existence equals understanding. There is existence and there is understanding, and the two often do not meet. If you say, I do not understand God, therefore there is no God, you must also say, I do not understand women, therefore there are no women, or I do not understand men, therefore there are no men, or I do not understand my child, therefore my child does not exist. That is ridiculous. There is existence and there is understanding. And they exist somewhat apart from each other. That is why Mother Teresa, who was told by God to go to India and to nurse, believed in God, but she did not understand it. And she said the first thing that she wanted to do in heaven was to go over with him so that she might understand with a far better mind and a far more transcendent look at things why some things happen. You know, John Dewey, the philosopher, used to say, we learn by doing. In Christianity, we learn of God by serving. Now, it is not by serving ourselves. It is by serving God and serving others. We are not going necessarily to learn about God from doing for ourselves. But we may learn when we begin a project to do for others or a project to glorify God. In Job 19:25 it said, I know that my Redeemer lives. Now, let us consider. That does not say, I understand my Redeemer. Job had enough sense to know that with the mind of man and the finiteness of ourselves, we are not going to be able to fully understand God. But he did know enough to go into the area where the hymn says, immortal, invisible, God only wise. The ways of God are immortal, the ways of God are often invisible, but they are in the end proven wise. Therefore I ask you, do not try to settle for a God you can understand. The way to God is serving God, and the way to serving God is through serving others and serving some cause or project that will glorify Him. Now today we have a plethora of people who say, I don't believe in God, I don't understand Him. The one does not necessarily mean the other. I know from experience that my Redeemer lived, but I do not understand Him fully. Let us learn that God exists and we exist to serve Him, and we learn about God through serving Him. But understanding Him, which is what the modern cult of science wants to do, is just not going to happen. When God can be understood, He can be manipulated. And when He is manipulated, then He is going to be used by men in terrible ways. But God is an independent entity who will never be fully understood, and that is for our own best interest as well as to protect His sovereignty. Therefore, do not hesitate to believe in God. Do not hesitate to serve God. Expect to learn about God through serving Him. When you serve God, you can have a peek through the curtain of that illusion that we call reality, and we can see God at times. As we serve, we learn that God is real.